Welcome to the Three Peas in a Pod. I'm Patches.
I'm Paddles.
And I'm Paddles.
And today, it's again another one of our topics episodes. But this time, it's again going to be a little bit different. Today, I'm not doing sports or history. You're thinking, why? That's what you do, right? Well, for more info, here's Paddles to explain why.
Thank you, Patches. So, I mentioned it lots of times already in the past videos how Patches and I start watching shows together like Grey's Anatomy and Arrow and Gotham was a really main thing.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, we've been watching Hell's Kitchen together, and he's watching Bones, since after all, he has to watch it. So, he's going to do Bones, and I'm going to talk about Hell's Kitchen. So, as of right now, it's on to you, Patches.
Thank you, Paddles. So, I'm on currently season 4 of Bones, but here is what I've watched so far. Let's start with season number 1. Season 1, of course, we are introduced to Dr. Temperance Brennan, who arrives at DC, but with a rude welcoming thanks to the people with Homeland Security. Silly Bluth bails her out, and they begin their first real case. In this season, they're also introduced to Howard Epps, who was on death row, pleading his innocence, supposedly. But when Brennan and Booth find more bodies and a tire iron, evidence proves that he is, no doubt, a vicious serial killer. And if you people who have followed the series throughout the years, and you saw the character Howard Epps, you can tell he's just a twisted, a mindless, just crude human being who has no solidarity for life. And that was just a real bummer for Bones because they were fooled. They were fooled. It's like he could have been dead. But apparently we get to see Bones, or we get to see Epps in season 2. That's what season 2 looks like. Of course, in the next season, he is somehow committing more murders while in prison. He targets young blonde teens through a man that was told what to do on how to kill them. Epps then escapes and again lures the team into a dangerous game of chess in which he is basically targeting everyone in which they love, including Bones' son. And
Booth's son.
Booth's son, Dr. Savoyan, the list goes on. Thankfully, after attempting to try and murder Brennan, he dies because Brennan knew that he was coming for her next. Booth comes in, and he tries to escape, but he falls to his death.
Well, something you missed there, that he fell over the railing, and Booth tried to save him, but he let go purposely. That's an important detail.
I apologize for that, folks. Sorry.
I haven't not watched it in a while, but I remember some stuff about shows. Sorry.
I'm still learning.
You're doing a great job, though.
Thank you. Also in this season, we saw Brennan's father, who was disguised as a priest. Angela and Hodges try to get married. And, of course, we are introduced to another serial killer, the Gravedigger. And I will get more into that, hopefully. And so on to season number 3. And that's what season 3 looks like. At the start of season 3, Angela and Jack try to find the mysterious man who married her in Fiji. The man's name was Birambao, which, if I remember from Wikipedia, which we're not sponsored by Wikipedia, but it's where I got most of the information from. Birambao supposedly is like a musical instrument in Brazil, misinterpreted by that. Birambao will be seen late in the season, and he's a big dude. We are also introduced to the cannibalistic Gormagon who plagues on secret societies for whom are corrupt. Zach Eddy becomes an apprentice after helping out, after being a sole ally with the team. Even though he is convicted, he reveals the secret location of Gormagon in the episode "The Pain in the Heart," which turns out to be the season finale of season 3. Now,
Does
I know-
Gorgon die?
I thank you, Paddles, again. I'm still trying to learn how to do this properly.
You're fine.
But yes, Gormagon does die after SWAT teams infiltrate his secret hideout. As for the Gravedigger, I wish I could tell you more, but there's really not much I can tell from season 3. So
Season 4, you find out who the Gravedigger is, but he'll tell you more about that when it happens. So these are spoilers, so if you have not watched Bone yet, I'm going to mute your ears.
very sorry. But that's practically it up to season 3. That's it for Bones, and now on to Paddles with her TV series.
Thank you, Patches. First and foremost, we're not sponsored by Fox here. Because
Or 20th Century Fox.
both are actually Fox shows. So I'm doing Hell's Kitchen recap. Sorry for the saying the H word. It's just what the show is titled. It's a reality cooking show that first aired in 2005. If you know what year it is, you're thinking, really?
Well, what's
12
funny?
years.
That's funny because Bones was also in 2005.
Yeah. But it's the host of the show is Gordon Ramsay. He's a renowned world-class chef. And so he came to the States to find the next master chef. So for season 1, you had the winner of Michael Ray. The runner-up was Ralph Pagano. The sous chefs for that season were Scott for the blue team and Marianne for the red team. It's the only season to date where it was a mixed gender teams right from the beginning. The rest of from season 2 to season 16 and maybe more seasons throughout is going to just be a woman versus man dominant teams. So that was pretty interesting. The maitre d' is also John Philippe. And for season 2 we had winners Heather West, who won against Virginia Delbeck. It was the first, and like I mentioned before, it's the first time the boys against the girls. Scott returned also Mary Ann. For season 3, Rock won against Bonnie Muirhead. It was Rock Harper, sorry. This would be the last season where Marion is actually the sous chef. And so starting season 4, we have a new sous chef. For season 4, we have Christina Mackamer. I hope I'm saying her name properly. I'm sorry if I don't. Beat Louis Pedrosa, but throughout the show his name was called Pedrosa, not Louis. And this was the first season of 2 for Gloria to be the new sous chef for the red team. Fun fact about Christina, she actually is from St. Louis, and I have a lot of family from Springfield and St. Louis, so shout out to you, Christina.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would just be fun just to say like what their professions were before they actually entered Hell's Kitchen. For season 1, Michael and Ralph were both professional chefs. Season 2, Heather was a sous chef, Virginia was a salad chef. Rock was an executive chef. Bonnie was a nasty, and nanny / professional chef, or personal chef. And for season 4, we had Christina was a culinary student, and Pedrosa was a catering director. So that's all I have for right now for Hell's Kitchen. We'll be watching season 5 soon, and stay tuned for a fun little thing that happened to me about season 5. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it'll be fun to listen to. Now, on to you, Paddles.
Thank you, Paddles.
Oh, I forgot to say.
Oh.
Here's season 1, season 2, season 3, and season 4. And also it's called the Raw Edition because it actually has profanity, not bleeped out.
Yeah, you don't want to get on Gordon's bad side. Oh.
Oh, no.
But that's it from me. I'm sorry, I forgot to interrupt you there. So now, officially, on to you, Pedals.
Thank you, Paddles. And don't worry about the interruption. Well, this weekend I was finally able to watch the movie that I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's called The Big Friendly Giant, based on the book written by Roald Dahl. Not a sponsor of Roald Dahl or Disney. See, where to start with this movie? See, well, first, this movie takes place in London, good old London. And the main characters are Sophie, played by Ruby Barnhill. She's like this really gutsy 9 or 10-year-old orphan, and she's like makes up all these rules like don't it's the witching hour and where deals with giants and everything. So she's like, don't get out of bed, and she gets out of bed. Don't go near the window. She goes near the window, of course. And see if I remember correctly, don't look back, which of course she does. Now this takes place in London in 1982, like I said, based on the book. And in this movie, giants are pretty much real. Some are friendly, some are just they eat children, which is kind of wow. But in this movie, she's awake. She doesn't sleep very much. She goes to a window. She sees a giant, and lo and behold, the giant sees her. And of course, she's terrified, so she just jumps in the bed, and the giant, surprise, surprise, takes her. He takes her to he picks up the bed and just carries her off to Giant Country where he lives. And of course she's terrified, but at the same time she is being very brave about it. Well, when she finally confronts the giant, she realizes that after a little bit he's not a mean giant. He doesn't eat the children. He doesn't scare anybody. He's just likes to keep to himself. So she names him the Big Friendly Giant. And of course, there are other giants who are not really friendly. They're not as nice as BFG. So she accidentally drops the blanket that she carries, and they find the blanket and they realize there's a human being around here. They call them human beings. So they're like, yummy, 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 yummy. So he's trying to protect her. While they're close, they realize that the longer she stays there, the more she's in danger. Sophie decides to hatch up a plan with the Big Friendly Giant, who is played by Mark Rylance. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. So they come up with this plan. Since they live in England, let's get the Queen to help. It's kind of funny because you wouldn't really expect the Queen to believe in giants and everything, but since the giant, his line of work is he deals with dreams, he catches dreams, he gives children nice dreams. They decide to give the Queen a really bad dream that giants were attacking the city and they're eating kids. So she decides, so when she wakes up, she sees Sophie and they decide to help each other and get rid of the giants. My favorite part was when the BFG gave the Queen and the staff this fizzy drink where the bubbles float downwards, and it makes them, let's just say, a little gassy.
Ooh.
So it was kind of funny to see the Queen and her staff let one rip.
Oh.
If you pardon the phrase. So I found that was hilarious. Of course she does it daintily. But yes, that's really the Big Friendly Giant. I highly recommend that movie because the graphics were fantastic. The plot was easy to follow, and it was just very heartwarming. And that's really it. That was my take on the Disney movie Big Friendly Giant. I hope you liked it. On to you, Paddles.
Oh, thank you, Petals. Don't have much to say. You can do the closeout patches.
Thank you, Paddles.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoy this topics episode. We know it's a little different than what you used to when you watch us, but certainly it is okay to expand. It's okay to go to different scenarios, especially when you're trying something new. And certainly we'll be giving you more updates on both Bones and Hell's Kitchen, and also in our next topics episode we will also get back to the sports and get back to history. And for Paddles, back to TV shows, and Pedals back to books and movies. But until then, I'm Patches.
I'm Paddles.
And Petals.
Before I forget,
Mm.
I actually did want to say something. There's other shows I've watched since before we did this channel, so I'm going to put every show I've watched until this show happened, put them in a bowl, randomly choose the one, and I'll do a summary about what the show was and what my rating about the show was and what my favorite character was. So stay tuned for that. So if you have other shows you'd like us to talk about, let us know. So as he was saying, I'm Paddles.
I'm Patches.
And I'm Petals.
Bye.
Bye.